Welcome to the desktop of my brand new Raspberry Pi 5. This is the 4 gigabyte model from February of 2024. And I have news because I just published a downloadable Raspberry 5 package that's pre-compiled, so you won't have to compile it anymore. I'm going to go get that. I just configured this. This is a brand new Raspberry Pi 5 with nothing done to it. Just all I've done is install the latest operating system and haven't had anything in. I've got mine defaulting to the Firefox web browser. So I'm going to close some of these magic tabs that automatically come up, and we're going to search for Linux Air Combat. Usually the link you want is usually the first one that comes up. You want this one from you want this one from sourceforge.net. In this case, it was the second one to come up. But sourceforge.net is the best place to download the source code. So I'm going to click there. And I'm going to, let's just see if I can make that text big enough so you can see it. Yeah, making the text bigger. Here I could stop and look about, see movies and read documentation about Linux Air Combat, but I happen to know that what we want to do is go here to download, so I'm going to click on Files, and then I have to choose a platform because Linux Air Combat, or LAC, is available on a lot of different computing platforms. I happen to know what we want right now is in the beta test area. I just updated some beta test stuff for the Raspberry Pi. Later on, you'll find this in the Raspberry Pi area, but for today, I'm going to look in the beta test area. And notice there are two of these. One is beta test ready to compile on any Linux, and the other is beta test pre-compiled for Raspberry Pi 5. So that's the one we want. Notice also that the README tells us a little about these things, and the interesting part here is this one talks about the LAC 9.61 beta test pre-compiled for Raspberry Pi 5.tar. Tells us what it is, but it points out I'm going to also need 2 prerequisite libraries right here. So we're going to be getting those 2 libraries after I download the source code package, or the compiled package for Raspberry Pi 5. So here I am clicking on this, and at that point SourceForge automatically begins a download process. It says we'll have it in 44 seconds. It's 71 megabytes. This happens to be a tar file. I know that the Raspberry Pi community expects these things to be in the APK format, but I couldn't figure out how to get my Raspberry Pi 5 to create an APK format archive. Unlike the Raspberry Pi 4, where it was completely intuitive. So I just put it as a tar file, and you'll have to untar it and then get those prerequisites we talked about, and then you'll be able to run the install.sh shell script with sudo. And I'll show all of that. I'm going to show all of that right away. Here it is, coming in. Just a few seconds left. Okay, it looks like we got our download. So now I think at this point I'm done with the, no, and I'm not done with the browser because I want to get those prerequisites. I'm going back to the page where we just got this stuff, and it says beta test versions. I'm going to want to get these 2 packages. First of all, I'm going to want to get this one. That's a DSL or SDL package. SDL has a lot of things, so I'm going to minimize my browser here and go to the add remove software utility, and we're going to first of all refresh the package sources just to make sure that we're in sync with the latest stuff, and check for updates. Verify that my operating system is completely up to date as of today. What is today? The 2nd of March 2024. So now I'm going to search for SDL. I'm going to maximize this the size of this window because SDL has a lot of pieces. And what I want to look for searching for SDL. SDL has a lot of pieces, and some of them are already present. Ordinarily, the stuff that's necessary for SDL2 is already in the Raspberry Pi operating system because it's so commonly used. But it turns out for Linux Air Combat, we need the classic old SDL 1.2 stuff, and which is going to be LibSDL 1.2. I don't want the development files. Well, that would do it. I think I want to be right in here someplace. There we are. LibSDL 1.2. Image loading library. Development. I feel like we've already got that one. Is that it? LibSDL. Is that the one I wanted? LibSDL image 1.2-1.2.12, 64-bit. Okay, looks like we've got that one, so I don't have to get that one. So maybe the only one I need is going to be the SDL mixer stuff. SDL mixer library, but this is it right here. SDL mixer 1.2-1.2.12, 17. Yeah, right there. Looks like that's the only one I need. So I was mistaken. Looks like the other one's already been installed. So I'm going to click apply, and it wants me to authenticate my authorized identity here with a password. Downloading, running the installer. That should do it. I guess that's all I need to do. I'm going to hit options and we'll quit installing software. That should give me all the prerequisites I need. Oh no, there's one more thing. No, I guess that's it. I'm going to now fire up a command console, and I'm going to maximize this and make the text bigger. Zoom in. How to do that with Control-Shift+. Control-Shift+. There we are, making the text big enough to see. I think I'll find in my downloads area that archive we found, CD downloads. Well, that's a long listing here. That's the file we downloaded a few minutes ago. And I'll need to extract that tar archive. And this is a command. I'm going to do tar minus extract verbose file. And then I'm going to copy the file name into my copy buffer with this, and then paste it in right here. So that makes a long, complicated command line. And when I hit enter, it should extract all that stuff out of here. And now, if I do a long listing, I should see a new folder. I do right here. There's a folder that's new, that contains all the stuff that was in this archive. I'm copying the name of that because I'm going to need it in a minute. Edit, copy. So now I'm going to use the change directory command, cd space, and change into that directory by typing its name just like that, and hit enter. Now if I do a long listing, we'll see those are all the pieces of Linux Air Combat. You can see all the files constituting the source code and various folders and things. It turns out there's a shell script in here. I'm doing a long listing for all the shell scripts. It's called install.sh. I should be able to just run that as root, and that's all we should need to do. So I'm going to go sudo /install.sh, and that should install Linux Air Combat. There it is. It's all done. Wow, that went fast. All right, so now if I want to see if it's there, I can ask which LAC are you going to use, and it should tell me it's in, yep, Unix System Resources Binary LAC. All I should have to do now is type LAC, and I think it's going to run. Let's see. Starting up. There it is. It's running. I can hear the sound. It's just that easy to get and download Linux Air Combat now. And I'm going to take a minute and set it up for full screen. Increase its quality and the view distance. I like it kind of like that. See what the audio is set at. I like the audio a little bit quieter, about 30%, the music at about 20%. I learned from experience I like this setup. I have to exit and restart it now to get it to full screen mode. But now when I repeat that command, LAC, just type it. There we are, Linux Air Combat version 9.61. And let's fly. Actually, let's find that airplane. I'm going to switch to a different airplane. Let's do the beautiful Vought F4U Corsair. And let's fly the fighters mission. Here I am. A little tutorial here. When I click Start Mission, you'll see here I am in a Vought F4U Corsair. And I can start shooting things down. Isn't that cool? Give myself full throttle. That cross right there is actually my target. And I'm not going to bother too much with a lot of activity here right now because there are so many videos about Linux Air Combat out on the internet. You can watch it, but just enough to let you see that it looks pretty darn good on this Raspberry Pi. Oh, I got him. I got lucky. All right, I'm hitting escape. Back to the menu, exiting back out. I'm back at my command line. That's a quick and easy, cheap and dirty way to install Linux Air Combat on a brand new Virgin Raspberry Pi 5 without compiling, just an easy download and run. There's more you can do. It's easy to integrate this into your Raspberry Pi menu system so you can launch it with just a click from the drop down, and you can register it as a game here, but I haven't done any of that yet. That is good enough for now. Thank you.